Historic Harrisburg was founded in 1973, so we're almost 50 years old. We'll be 50 in 2023. Historic Harrisburg was founded because in the early 1970s, Harrisburg was in bad shape. You had the flood of 1972, which wiped out a lot of Shipoke and some of the other neighborhoods. You had the ongoing suburbanization, which was occurring throughout the 1950s and 60s. So the population was decreasing. Business was moving to shopping malls from the downtown. And this was a grassroots effort to try and reverse that trend. In many ways, that's been our mission ever since. In the early days, it was very much a grassroots effort, and neighbors helping neighbors in Shipoke and in Midtown, and believing that the future of their neighborhood was a positive future. That meant more people would start buying houses and moving in and fixing them up. That led to the creation of historic districts in those neighborhoods. We now have 11 historic districts in Harrisburg. Some of them are municipal historic districts, some of them are National Register historic districts, but those are very helpful to homeowners in terms of the investment in their property and the protection of their property as time goes by.
The first historic district, municipal district, went to Verbeck Street. And also included the Shipoke area. As time went on over the decades, the districts were expanded to include the old Uptown area, to include what is now the Fox Ridge area, as well, of course, as Midtown and other selected areas. The notion, of course, was to protect homes, to encourage investment, and to retain the city's character. So that kind of gives you a little bit of a nutshell. This all started probably in the mid-1970s, and then of course National Register districts were created likewise over a period to overlay the municipal districts. So we had a comprehensive historic preservation movement and a historic preservation plan for the city.
Well, revitalizing historic houses and neighborhoods, that's really at the core of our mission. And I think when our original members wanted to improve their neighborhoods, if you were just one homeowner in one house in a decaying neighborhood, that wouldn't be good. But if you got a lot of people together to fix up their houses, then property values would increase, the neighborhood vitality would increase, and so there's great benefit to having this happen in large numbers. So that was always Historic Harrisburg's intent, was to get as many people involved as possible, entire blocks. Once the majority of a block is being restored, then there's really the potential for an entire neighborhood to be restored. So that really has been how it's worked, house by house, block by block, neighborhood by neighborhood over the last almost 50 years. I think it's very important to the city of Harrisburg because most of our houses are old. Most of them were built close to 100 years to close to 200 years ago. That's the housing stock we have, and not only we need to restore it because that's what we have, but it's very special. You don't have these kind of this beautiful craftsmanship, great architecture, great space layouts and so forth. People in historic homes have really discovered that it's a wonderful alternative to living in a more modern house.
Well, I would say, Christian, that clearly it's been a very positive effect on the city. As we know, more people have moved in, more people have restored houses because they know it's in a historic district. Their properties will be protected in terms of design and quality. And also, subsequently, there's been a lot of infill housing, new construction in vacant lots in areas that have been blighted before. And that resulted primarily because of the resurgence in restoring existing and older homes that then gave developers the comfort level to come in and build new houses in blocks that were blighted and open land that was available. So that's kind of the way I look at the positive effect that the historic legislation and the historic districts has had on the city. Well, a lot of people want to be in the city because it has character. The homes have character architecturally. They're close to their employment. If they work in Harrisburg, many can bike or walk. They don't have to deal with commuter traffic. And also there's so many cultural venues that have emerged that people want to take advantage of in the city, and other exciting destinations, as it were, with museums, with retail, some retail, of course, restaurants, and other attractions. And being close to that, living in a historic district and in the city is a value. When it comes to the suburban areas, that's fine for some folks that don't want urban living, but they, of course, have the problem of transportation, and it's just a matter of taste. I mean, what's kind of interesting to me is that so many new townhouse developments in the suburbs are trying to recreate town centers by virtue of denser housing, townhouses, and so forth, with retail on the first floor. They're emulating the city in creating these clustered new townhouse communities. And our view is try the real thing, you know, rather than trying to recreate a quote Disneyland approach to a quasi-urban environment.
Well, we try to be an educational resource for people. For example, coming up later this month, we have our program on restoring and preserving historic windows. That's a free program where people can come and understand that the benefit of saving their original windows and having them restored properly in many ways is better than replacing them. We've had all kinds of educational programs over the years that are intended to help individual homeowners understand how to preserve and restore their houses. They can call us with questions. We'll refer them to experts. We have an architecture and local history library here at Historic Harrisburg where people can come and research some of their house history. And we have a referral to architects and small businesses that specialize in fixing up old houses, so people can really come to us with any number of questions. They can call us here at 717-233-4646, visit our website, historicharrisburg.org, and come to any of our programs, and we'd be happy to get them involved. They don't have to be a homeowner. They don't have to live in the city of Harrisburg. We welcome everybody. We've even got members from as far away as California. Most everybody is local, but we welcome everybody.